100 years ago this week, Arthur Balfour, the British Foreign Secretary, penned a letter that would change the face of the Middle East. The letter, published on November 2nd, 1917, led to the creation of the State of Israel and would spark almost a century of conflict. The American Colony Hotel has hosted guests in Jerusalem for over a century.
Welcome.
This place has a unique perspective on the region's history because it's played a part in it. Presidents and peacemakers, spies and journalists use this space, often in secret, to hatch plans and discuss the future.
History was made in this room, room 16. This room is very important because we have the peace process starting from here.
Yeah, and this is another unique room. Tony Blair used this room to advance the peace process, and this is the patio where the talks took place.
The hotel sits close to the former border separating East from West Jerusalem. Today, the whole city is under Israeli rule, but Jews and Arabs are still divided. This place is a haven from the troubles all around. Jeremy and Ahmed have both worked here for more than 30 years.
One of the joys of working in the colonies, meeting all the wonderful people I work with, and the things we share. One of the things Ahmed and I share is a birthday.
Jeremy Berkowitz is the hotel's chief financial officer. He is an Israeli.
It's different inside the American colony than outside the hotel because here we are working together.
Ahmed Shikane is the head of housekeeping. He is a Palestinian. Balfour's letter has had a profound impact on both of these men. They live on opposite sides of Israel's security barrier. The letter's crucial clause read,
His Majesty's government views with favour the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people.
but it also warned,
It being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine.
Here in the hotel's archive, Jeremy and Ahmed view the letter's legacy very differently.
Ahmed, what's this cartoon?
This is Balfour.
Yeah.
When he came here to Jerusalem to meet the religious people, Jesus and Muhammad, and they told him, you are not welcome here to this land.
So basically, the point is the Arabs were saying Balfour's no good for them,
Yes.
but it was good for us, for the Zionists, because he was opening the doors
You are right, yes.
for the future.
Yes.
The letter was a declaration of support for Zionists who wanted to create a Jewish state. In the carve-up of the Ottoman Empire after the First World War, the League of Nations gave Britain a mandate to rule Palestine. But the Arabs, who had been living in Palestine for centuries, turned increasingly to resistance and violence, culminating in a revolt in 1936.
We were peaceful people till the Balfour Declaration came. They gave our lands to the Jews, and there is no justice for the Palestinian. This is our land for thousands of years. We've been waiting all the time for our rights to be respected.
As they crushed the uprising, the British tried to win over the Arabs by restricting Jewish ambitions.
If we're talking about getting angry, I mean, in 1939, when the Second World War was breaking out and the Jews are being killed in all over Europe, Britain at that point says no more immigration into mandatory Palestine, which means that the Jews have got nowhere to go just when they thought they would have somewhere to go. So the Jews got very angry with the British.
Jewish anger also turned violent. The British gave up and handed the problem over to the United Nations. In 1947, the UN voted to partition Palestine, but the Arabs rejected this, and fighting broke out.
Every page we go to here has got more pictures of death and destruction, and it was clearly untenable. This is a burnt-out Jewish house, Sheikh Jarrah. This is right next to the American Colony Hotel.
As the last British soldiers left Palestine in May 1948, the moment had come for the Jews. They declared the State of Israel. Neighbouring Arab countries invaded immediately. In the armistice of 1949, Israel and Arab states divided up the land, but there was no Palestinian state, just two regions controlled by Egypt and Jordan, now known as the West Bank and Gaza. An estimated 700,000 Palestinians fled or were pushed out of their homes. They called this the Nakba, the catastrophe.
They took our land. We love this land. This is our land for our families. The Arabs are very angry because they lost everything, you can say.
Since then, there have been wars, uprisings, terrorist attacks, and diplomatic deals. Nothing has brought lasting peace or a state for the Palestinians. Since the War of 1967, many Palestinians now live in the West Bank under permanent Israeli occupation, cut off by the Israeli security barrier. They have autonomy in big cities and towns, but are surrounded by Jewish settlements. Others are locked away in the Gaza Strip, the scene of repeated wars. A century on from Lord Balfour's letter, his 67 words have left a profound but mixed legacy.
The Holocaust convinced the West, and probably the whole world, that the Jews did need somewhere they were safe. My father lost most of his family. My mother, excuse me, I get emotional. My mother lost a lot of her family as well. And, well, I mean, my family probably, I don't know if they'd exist without the State of Israel.
We have no freedom and no state, and many of the Palestinian people are left this place. So they go everywhere. So it wasn't good for us, unfortunately. I don't think Balfour Declaration kept its promise for the Palestinians.
The conflict between Arab and Jew remains intractable. The Balfour Declaration helped to create Israel, but the state of Palestine is not yet born.